Welcome in here, race fans, to the USA International Speedway for the Checker Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series presented by Red Light Racing. Tonight's race is right here for the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100 from the USA International Speedway, and this is just 2 rounds left here for the Checker Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. The season is starting to wind down, and we are coming into the stretch here where you have to be near perfect, especially if you're some of the drivers at the top of the standings. Let's take a quick look at that right here. There you see it, your top 5 in points with only 2 races left. A.J. Hamill leading Dalton Williamson over Brian Hackert, Justin McDuff, and Max Terriel. Those are your top 5 drivers. They all come in here tonight within 33 points of each other. So that points championship is going to go right down to the nitty-gritty here tonight. And man, I can't wait to see where this one ends up. Of course, next week we are at the North Wilkesboro Speedway for Culpeppers Championship night at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. First, we got to get through this race here at the USA International Speedway, as it's going to be one of the toughest races of the season for these drivers. I'm Roger Buth. I'm up here in the booth tonight bringing you all the virtual action here on the Turn 3 Racing Network. We'd like to thank each and every one of you for tuning in here tonight to watch the Checker Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series here for Red Light Racing. And the field is set, so we're all but ready to get rolling here tonight. Drivers are going to try to notch their name amongst some of the drivers that have won. We talked about it last week. Only 4 drivers, A.J. Hamill, Dalton Williamson, both have 3 wins apiece. Brian Hacker, 2. Max Terriel, 2. So 4 winners here this season who will put their name right alongside those drivers. Let's take you down to your starting lineup here tonight, brought to us by 6 Rings Racing. This is your starting lineup for the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100. Starting on the front row, he drives the number 99 out of Virginia. This is Mark Jenkins. Starting to the outside of him, he drives car number 37NY. This is Brian Robinson. Starting back in P number 3, driving the Need for Speed Motorsports, Granny Hips Walkers and Kane number 2, it is Joshua Buckley. The driver out of sunny California drives car number 25. This is going to be Robert Haynes in action here tonight. He'll roll off 4th, his best starting spot of the season. Starting back into the 5th position, drives the Rev Esports number 1. This is his hometown track on the schedule. This is Dalton Williamson. The Higgins Hill Racing number 40 Checkered Flag Auto Supply. Rob Higgins will go from the 6th starting spot here tonight. The driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts drives the Rev Esports Mechanic Advisor number 11 of Sean Single. He'll go 7th. The driver out of Huntley, Illinois, Mr. Short Tracker. This is Brian Hacker, starting in 8th. A.J. Hamill will roll off from position number 9 here tonight. The driver out of New York, Vermont, driving the Empire Racing 18. That's 9th for A.J. Hamill. Starting back into the 10th position, drives car number 42. This is the Storm from the North. This is Max Terriel. It's the Wiley Veteran here, the number 54, the American Tire Distributor car. It is Rex Hoyle. Driving car number 14 out of Massachusetts, this is driver Brian Bianchi tonight with the Culpeppers 14 entry. Starting 13th here tonight on the grid is going to be the driver that is back from Disney World. It's the car number 41, Bob Higgins, in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply will go 13th. 14th here tonight, the driver out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, driving car number 27, it is Johnny Bell. Aidan Elvecchione, the driver out of South Carolina, will drive car 271 here tonight. He'll roll off 15th. Blake Timmons in car number 23 will roll off 16th here tonight, while Michael Trevarthen will round out our 17-car starting lineup here tonight for the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe 100 right here from the USA International Speedway, and we are ready. The field is set. The lights on the iRacing pace car are off, and we are geared and ready to go racing. 100 laps here tonight at the famous Speedway here at Lakeland. Of course, the track no longer standing. I heard it's a parking lot, but we are geared up and ready to go racing here virtually on the iRacing.com platform. Green flag is in the air. We're racing. Put 100 laps on the board here tonight for the Culpeppers and Bakery 100 as Mark Jenkins will lead us into turn number 1. He'll leave 2 cars side by side out of turn number 2. Here comes the 2 of Joshua Buckley to the inside of the 37NY of Brian Robinson. Robinson holds the outside of the speedway. Buckley and the Granny Hips will wobble on through there. Here comes the number 1 of Dalton Williamson. Remember, we talked about him. He's one of the drivers to watch for here tonight in that championship battle. It just looks like Robinson right now cannot get that 37NY down to the bottom. Here comes Sean Single. AJ Hamill is right there. Rob Haynes is also hot to trot on that bottom groove. Now he's actually split up to the outside. So Rob Haynes is going to be stuck to the outside here. Here comes Dalton Williamson, though, battling for P number 2. He'll jet to the outside of old Granny Hips down into turn number 1. See if he can exit turn number 2 here and pull side by side. He will be able to do that. These drivers said here early on that this field here tonight, this track was going to be able to be side by side competition all evening long. And right now, we're being able to see that outside lane work for just a little bit. But it looks like Dalton Williamson going to have to fall back in line. Still to the outside is the 37NY there of Brian Robinson. To the inside of that 37NY, here comes the storm from the north of Max Terrell. There goes Huntley, Illinois' Brian Hacker in the 11 Illinois. He just got through Mr. Short Tracker, the Hacker. So move Brian Hacker, AJ Hamill up inside the top 6 drivers now. One driver that is just on the wrong way slide of things. That's that 37NY Robinson. Started on the outside of the front row, and he has just been freight trained as they have put him to the outside. He cannot get back down to the bottom. He just does not have the speed here on this short opening run here for 100 laps tonight. Battle up inside the top 3, though. Josh Buckley gets moved up to the outside lane. Here comes the number 1. Dalton Williamson will make the pass. Here comes the double ones. This is the 11 of Sean Single, driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts. Brand new computer, brand new internet here, and a very bad communication established with Sean Single earlier in the pre-race. We were talking to him about his brand new connection, and let me tell you, if you like hearing yourself talk, go talk to Sean Single, because you hear yourself clear as day coming back at you. Right now, Sean Single picks up that 3rd spot. Here comes Mr. Confusion, though. He's got Brian Hacker right behind him, and he's got Max Terrell as they just get around the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. Buckley made a charge through the field there and worked his way into that 2nd position for a couple laps. And now here in the last handful of laps, he has been trending backwards through the field. He now inserts himself back down to the bottom side of the speedway, right in front of the number 42 of Max Terrell. Well, Brian Hacker's right there. Now Max Terrell going to go the long way, possibly looking to get around the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. As you ride on board with the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe onboard camera with Brian Bianchi here. Bianchi right now moved up 4 spots, running into the 8th position. See that Granny Hips, Walkers, and Kane entry down to the bottom side of the speedway. Max Terrell still working the outside. He's going to make the pass work to the outside. Maybe that'll open up the lane here. Maybe the 14 of Brian Bianchi can go ahead and follow suit and see if he can make his way through. One of them going around is the 54 of Rex Hoyle. A couple of them parked down here in turn number 4. One car losing control, smashing the inside wall. The 23 of Blade Timmons. And I believe a couple of them down here on the front straightaway getting together. Blade Timmons has to take the tow. It looks like Aiden Alvecchione had some issues with the 271. Also, Brian Robinson involved. Johnny Bell is involved here. Caution flag on the speedway for the first time here tonight at the USA International Speedway. We'll take the look back here and see what just happened down there in 3 and 4. See Blade Timmons. Maybe we can close in on Timmons. Oh, there you see Trevarthen into the back of the 54. See everybody coming to a rest down there. There you see the 37NY of Robinson just sneaking around. Johnny Bell comes to a stop down there also. But what happened to Timmons? See Blade Timmons. He's there. The 23, the white, black, and red machine. You see him pull away. And just yeeted the inside wall. Bob Higgins looks like he came to a rest to get through. What happened to Aiden Alvecchione here? Oh, right into the back of his teammate of Haynes. Haynes was slow on the front straightaway. And Alvecchione nowhere to go. See, Alvecchione came to a slow, and then it looks like, oh, Haynes hit the brakes as he thought the Timmons machine was going to come back out onto the speedway. And Aiden Alvecchione was ready to go. drone camera shows it all right here. I see a little net go there from 31 to the 54. Robinson comes to a stop, just misses it, and so does Johnny Bell. That'll be the first caution flag here of the evening. As you look down upon the sights here at the USA International Speedway, just 2 races left here in the season. We talked about that. No championship drivers that were just involved in that wreck are, well, there are no championship contenders involved in that wreck is what we're really trying to say. A.J. Hamill, Dalton Williamson, Brian Hacker, Max Terrell all still out onto the track. We talked about how Justin McDuff was in that 4th spot in the championship hunt. Coming into the night, it does not look like he was able to make the event here at the USA International Speedway, so that will drop him spiraling out of contention for the championship here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series as we're getting ready to go back racing here. It'll be 14 laps officially completed here as Dalton Williamson challenges for the race lead with Mark Jenkins to the inside on the restart down into turn number 1. Mark Jenkins looking like he might be able to hang on to it. Take a look at our Mechanics Advisor onboard camera facing back at the rest of the field here as they all go down into turns 3 and 4. It'll be Mark Jenkins still continuing to lead tonight here. Dalton Williamson right there, so is Sean Single, Brian Hacker, Max Terrell. A.J. Hamill lost a spot there to the number 42 of Max Terrell. He'll fall in line back into the 6th spot. Side by side, though, as Josh Buckley's up the speedway. He's got the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40 of Rob Higgins right there. Brian Bianchi also right underneath. All the drivers that are running 7th, 8th, and 9th right now, all living within about 20 minutes of each other up there in Massachusetts. So I'm sure if one of them make a mistake right here and take the other out before midnight tonight, count on it that there's probably going to be a phone call and a, hey, I'm out front. I'm only kidding. Everybody's here to have a good night of racing, good fun of racing. Everybody's friends, and we all love each other. All right, the gloves will come off sooner or later, race fans. You know we just had to say it. Mark Jenkins still continuing to lead this one, but he's got a little tail behind him. Dalton Williamson this season came in with something to prove, and he's been able to hang on to a good spot here. He's held the championship spot a couple times and then passed it back and forth with Brian Hacker and A.J. Hamill this season. Right now, he came in 2nd, so he said this was his week. Even A.J. Hamill said last week in his post-race interview that leading the championship points is probably not the place to be because always that's the bad luck juju spot. So Dalton had it last week. Now A.J. has it this week. Of course, and A.J. right up into the wall. You talk about it, and it happens. A.J. Hamill up and over in the Arts Barbershop machine. I'm sure he's as confused now that he went up and over as he was beforehand. A.J. Hamill, championship leader coming into the night, now going up over on his lid. And he's going to be able to continue on, but the question's going to now be how much damage is done to A.J. Hamill as he was up into the outside wall. We'll have to take the look back here and see if the truck can find the angle at this one. Josh Buckley's going to get it right there. Oh, he gets involved as the 18 is flipping down the back straightaway. And let me check the judges there on the landing for that flip. And nope, the Canadian judge is shaking his head. He doesn't like it. Too much of the nose was on the ground before landing, so well, AJ's not going to get a great score from our friendly fans from the north. So A.J. Hamill, let's see if we can go back here and see that from the inside. Got lucky that nobody else was coming through there and hit him. So AJ will go to pit road and see if he can get some damage fixed and back out onto the racetrack. And I'm being told, yep, there it is. AJ Hamill coming right back out onto the speedway. Crew giving him the thumbs up that it's going to be, well, it's drivable. And now we're going to have to salvage some points here tonight. Well, Brandon Feeney, he's one of those Canadians tuning in here tonight, and we got to thank him for his continued support here, not only with Red Light Racing, but all of us here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, and he gives that landing there for A.J. Hamill 8.5. Jason out there chiming in with the 410. That's what the judge over there was throwing up from Canada. He put 4 in the air, so 4 out of 10 from Canada. A.J. Hamill going to restart back. It looks like he's sitting currently 16th. One driver is out of this race here tonight. That's the driver of the 23 of Blade Timmons. Are you located up in Massachusetts? Are you in the Ayer, Massachusetts area? Well, look no further. For all your auto parts needs, the Checkered Flag Auto Supply has a full stocked inventory up there. Located at 103 in Park Street. Or 103 Park Street, we should say. The friendly, knowledgeable staff, family-owned and operated small business in Ayer, Massachusetts. If you're up there and you need to get some brakes for your Mercedes-Benz, well, they can get that in stock for you if you are a Mr. Fix-It. Head on over to the Checkered Flag Auto Supply today. Stop in and just say hello. The Higgins family will always be there for your family. This time by, though, the iRacing.com pace car lights will go out, and we will see if we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and see which one of these drivers are ready to take the top spot. It'll be Mark Jenkins, Dalton Williamson, Sean Single, Brian Hacker, Max Terrell, Rob Higgins back there in 6th, Brian Bianchi, Brian Robinson, Rob Haynes, and Rex Hoyle. That's your top 10 here while we re-fire them here. It'll be 25 laps in the books here tonight. Only one driver off the speedway, that's Blade Timmons. He has called it a night here from the USA International Speedway. Second caution flag here is about to come to an end here tonight in the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100 here in sunny Florida. Ain't so sunny, but the lights are on. The stars are out onto the speedway. The 99 of Mark Jenkins will fly ahead in the Ultra Slim Fast number 99. He'll lead us once again down the back straightaway. Look at Brian Hacker now go to the outside here on Sean Single. Single gonna hold it to the bottom side. Hacker got the outside. The 11s are wild and they're side by side at the line. A little Nerf bar contact that time between the two 11s. Right on board here with their mechanic advisor onboard camera with Dalton Williamson. Looking back at the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker to the outside there with Sean Single down to the inside. Single 6th in the championship standings. He should be able to jump inside the top 5 here tonight with a good run with Justin McDuff missing in action. Still side-by-side Hacker. That time noses ahead just a little bit, but Sean Single has the inside advantage. This is good. Short track, side-by-side racing action is what we live for on Thursday evenings here with the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series for Red Light Racing. Of course, Red Light Racing, the Scrambler Series was off this past Monday. They will be back in action here on the 7th at the Chicagoland Speedway. That's a big track. This is a short track, and we got Mr. Short Track. Oh, Hacker up the speedway. Gets a little bump from the 11 of Sean Single. He'll lose 1. He'll lose 2. And that'll stop the bleeding, hopefully. Hacker can get back down to the bottom side of the speedway, turn some laps here as 30 laps will be completed this time by at the line. Hacker going to go from battling for the 3rd spot all the way back to 6th. Everybody single filing themselves out here. Your race leader, still Mark Jenkins. Tallying it up, and the driver out of Virginia tonight has already led more laps here tonight at the USA International Speedway as he has all season long here with the SK Modified Series. And right now, if you're Mark Jenkins, I bet you're pumping your chest out, pounding on your chest, saying, hey, I can do this. I can do this. Just don't look back, Mark, because, boy, you got Dalton back there, and he is one of the hungriest young gentlemen on the scene. The driver out of Tampa, Florida, would love to win one here at home in Florida. Last season, Dalton Williamson was actually able to pick up the win right here at his home state, but he was at the Five Flags Speedway that night. See if he can pull one out of the hat here tonight. Brian Hacker not able to get around the Culpeppers Bakery entry back there, the 14 of Brian Bianchi. Right now he's just kind of stuck back here running into P number 6 behind Bianchi. Now he's going to look to the inside down here on the front straightaway down into turn number 1. Hacker going to hold that yellow line, and looks like Brian Bianchi's going to give him just enough room, and he'll scoot on through. So Huntley, Illinois' Brian Hacker back on the move once again, and he'll take that spot, move him back up inside the top 5 here tonight. Mark Jenkins is still the race leader, but he's got Williamson, and now he's got Single and Max Theriault all right there. Right now, Brian Hacker's best friend is actually Mark Jenkins. While you look at the timing and scoring, and why is that? Well, that's because as long as Mark Jenkins is out front, Dalton Williamson isn't getting around him. Now a little bit of a bump at the end of the straightaway. Dalton Williamson said, man, I got to get around. I got to go. Right on board here with Dalton Williamson as they work down the back straightaway. See if he's able to make that move once again out of turn number 4, headed to turn 1. Not quite able to get the same run that he did have a lap before. So he'll fall into line. Everybody single file through the field here. A.J. Hamill is still out there. There he is, your championship leader coming into the night, but right now it is not looking good. A.J. Hamill right now running back into position number 15, only one car behind him, and that is Aidan Alvecchione. Right now, A.J. Hamill is losing touch with the drivers out in front of him. It's almost an 8-second gap to the leader of Jenkins, and that's almost a half a lap behind. Dalton Williamson, I'm noticing, is using a little bit different line down in 3 and 4 than the Jenkins machine. Going to have a great run coming down the back straightaway. Will he get the inside advantage? He'll get the Nerf bar there, just not able to really put it in there to move the 99 up the speedway. He doesn't want to make contact, doesn't want to turn the 99 around, because here at the end of the season, you do not want a penalty from the officials here at the end of the season, because every point will matter. He knows A.J. Hamill just went up and over not too long ago here tonight, so he knows he's going to gain some points on the driver out of Vermont or New York or wherever he's from. So all he wants to do is have himself a good, strong finish here tonight, closing in on halfway. There's plenty of racing left here tonight. USA is going to give plenty of opportunities. Look at the run he's going to get this time. Jenkins going to throw a little bit of a block down the back straightaway. Here comes Williamson. He threw the nose in there once again, but he hit the hooks. He does not want to force the envelope. Let's see if the number 1 of Williamson is going to get that same run once again off of turn 2. Not going to have quite the run that he had the lap before. Some good racing here. Sean Single, though, hanging out back there, just kind of running his race. The newly acquired Rev Esports driver last season coming on board with them. Oh, Jenkins going to get tight. He's going to go up the speedway. Dalton Williamson going to sneak on by. Here comes Sean Single. Here comes Max Theriault. It's going to move the 99 of Jenkins back to P4 on the running order. And now Sean Single left the door open. Here comes Max Theriault. Max smelled the blood in the water, and he said, man, if it's going to be there, I'm going to chomp on it. Here comes the storm from the north. He has the inside advantage as they work down the back straightaway. Jenkins holding strong back there as now he'll work to the inside on the number 11 here of Sean Single. Brian Hacker would be the next car to come into play. Closing in on halfway home here tonight. The outside lane seemed to work early on in this race, but we haven't seen anybody really go up there and make it work since. Last 2 cars that we've seen to the outside, Brian Hacker, the 99 there. of Mark Jenkins. They've just gone straight backwards. Of course, Jenkins had a little help into the wall. Of course, Hacker had a little help into the wall. Sean Single going to fall back. He's just going to run fifth now here on Brian Hacker. See if he can cross him over out of turn number 4. Hacker going to throw a little bit of a block. He'll defend the inside down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Now your new running orders, Dalton Williamson, Max Terrell, Mark Jenkins, and Brian Hacker. Oh, very close there for Sean Single. Single was really close, getting into the outside wall, tight out of turn number 2 that time. Was able to keep his number 11 out of the wall, but he came very close. Max Terrell pressuring the number 1, the BK Paints entry of Dalton Williamson now for the race lead. Because in 2 laps, the halfway flags will be displayed here. See Dalton really protecting the inside lane. Here comes Brian Hacker. Now he'll jet to the inside of Mark Jenkins. Jenkins having himself a very strong run here tonight. Made one mistake out of turn 2, put it into the outside wall a little bit, but he's been able to hang on. Fell back to 5th and then worked his way back to 3rd. Now he's stuck to the outside of Mark Jenkins, or of Brian Hacker here, as Mark Jenkins is falling backwards now in the outside lane. Here comes the 11 of Sean Single, also down to the bottom side of the speedway. He'll try to rebound and get around. 1 car out in front of the race leaders. It's Aiden Alvecchione. He has some damage from an earlier incident on the front straightaway with his teammate of Rob Haynes. Aiden, the youngest driver on the circuit this season, has 1 pole to his name. Pole virtual of the invert and how the system is set up here. If you finish first here tonight, next week you would start 12th. If you finish 12th here tonight, you would start pole position next week. Everybody from 12th on back would then funnel in on points. But your race leaders here getting around Aiden Alvecchione came up on him very fast, and I don't think him nor themselves were ready for it. Max Terrell took a peek that time out of turn number 4. Not going to have anything to do with it, as we're already halfway home here tonight in the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100. A couple drivers a little bit deeper into the field have themselves a battle going too. That's the 37 and Y of Brian Robinson and the number 40 of Rob Higgins. There you see Higgins in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, number 40. Running inside the top 10 here. He has dropped 3 spots since the start of this race. Started in that 6th position. Has fallen back to run in 9th. Of course, Brian Robinson doing a little bit worse. He started up there in position number 2, and he's fallen all the way back to 10th. Did get a report that the number 271, I think the motor just expired on Aiden Alvecchione as he's coasting down the front straightaway. He's going to see if he can get that car off the raceway. We'll see. As it looks like we will stay green. Aiden Alvecchione able to pull the tow button. As remember, race fans, we are here on the iRacing.com platform here tonight. All virtual racing here for Red Light Racing. You're watching the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series tonight, presented by Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe for 100 laps here at the USA International Speedway. So Aiden Alvecchione is going to blow a motor. He will finish here tonight in the 16th position. Blade Timmons off track. He's running back in 17th. Here's 2 team drivers back here in the 12th and the 13th position. It is Johnny Bell right now holding down the 12th spot, and Rob Haynes, remember, he got tangled up with his teammate of Aiden Alvecchione in that caution flag on the front straightaway. So right now, Haynes back here. Just following old Johnny Bell. Michael Trevarthen making a move here to the inside of the Culpeppers and Bakery number 14. So Michael Trevarthen, the newest member of the Rev Esports group. They are growing as an organization and as a team, but will the Rev Esports driver that's leading this will be able to hang on? As here comes Max Terrell, he'll slide it down into turn number 3, and he gave a big wiggle out of the rear end of the 42. New race leader, only the 3rd leader of this event here tonight at the USA International Speedway, and that will be Max Terrell going to the front of the field. Next driver that is on the chopping block to go a lap down, and I know Max Terrell has his mouth watering right now as you see the 18 there of A.J. Hamill come across the line. A.J. Hamill went up and over on the back straightaway, landed on his lid. Canadian judge is not giving him a fair score, but he's back in 15th. He'd be the next victim to your race leaders. There you see car number 2 of Joshua Buckley. He has fallen back 8 spots here tonight at the USA International Speedway. This is not one of his favorite tracks to drive, he said. The tough conditions here really hurt his hips, and when he gets out of the race car here tonight, his sim rig, he's going to have to use one of those granny hips walkers and canes. You know, we got to give a big shout out to Ryan O'Donnell also. Runs on Monday night with the Scrambler Series. He did come up with the concept of old granny hips, walkers, and canes, the logo. Brandon Feeney, one of our dedicated viewers that's out there tonight tuning in. He's out there in chat out of Ontario, Canada. He's the one that came up with the joke. It was the inside joke of old granny hips Buckley. And then they made the logo, and then we got him some stickers made, and we shipped them up there to Massachusetts to him. His wife, he says, is here in the notes that he passed along to me, he says his wife is one of the best wives ever, as yesterday she was able to make him some food that was just finger-licking good. The only thing that could have beat that, though, was having Chick-fil-A, and that's what we had delivered here to the studio from, well, my amazing wife. She picked that up on the way home here tonight to feed me down here in the studio, getting ready for this race here at the USA International Speedway. Josh Buckley back there running into the 11th spot, though. 37 NY of Brian Robinson trying to get around the 40 of Higgins still. Not quite able to do it as your race leader, though. But Max Terrell is closed in now on the back of the 18 of A.J. Hamill. He will go a lap down here. As we still continue to watch the battle back here with Brian Robinson. Of course, Brian Robinson being one of those drivers that's been here every race with the SK Modified Series since the inaugural race 3 seasons ago, as we are on season number 4. I really think he's only actually ever missed 1 race if I check back through the notes. Brian being one of the mainstay contenders here as he gets around Higgins, and now Higgins is going to get a little bit of a bump. Buckley and the granny hits. His walker just slipped off the accelerator, but it was just a split second too late. When you have hips, your legs just don't work like they used to. There's A.J. Hamill. He did go a lap down to the race leaders of Max Terrell, Dalton Williamson, and Brian Hacker. Sean Single still sitting there in 4th. Mark Jenkins will go to the inside of the wounded number 18. So Hacker, the short tracker, has rebounded pretty well here after getting moved up out of the groove with Sean Single. Got back around Single. Mark Jenkins now runs 3rd behind Dalton Williamson. There you see the Rev Esports driver. Little scrape of the outside wall there for the 11 of Sean Single. Hacker going to hit the apron a little bit down there in the corner. Sometimes the apron will help turn these cars. Sometimes the apron will hurt these cars. You don't want to go down there too many times and dance with the devil. Closing in, 25 laps to go here tonight in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series for Red Light Racing. Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe coming on board here tonight at the USA International Speedway. We got to thank them, and we got to thank them also. They'll be back on top of the pylon next week when we do head to the North Wilkesboro Speedway for the season finale. It's the championship night presented by Culpeppers Bakery just next Thursday night. As you see a couple of those contenders that are inside the championship bubble. Max Terrell, Dalton Williamson, Brian Hacker. You know, race fans, I've been trying for 2 seasons now to get Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe drilled into the two of Joshua Buckley's head to maybe host a banquet up there at Culpeppers. Maybe if we can get some fan support rolled behind this. Of course, we still have to be very mindful of our COVID-19 pandemic that's going on all around the country, all around the world. But maybe after it's all said and done, we can get one of those. Well, get a day rented out at the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe for all of our members of Red Light Racing and all the fans out there that tune in on a week-to-week, night-to-night basis. We'll go up there and try some pie. I know AJ Hamill was talking about some pie earlier. There's the battle for the race lead. 4-driver, a little bit of a breakaway, pretty much call it. About a 1-second gap is what it is between Max Terrell to Sean Single, who runs there in the 4th position. And then it's another, almost a whole second back till you find the 99 of Mark Jenkins. How about Michael Trevorthan? Very slowly. He was almost involved in that first wreck of the evening. There's something going on right here between these two drivers, though. There's a 25 of Haynes to the inside. We do like to tune in on Haynes occasionally. He runs a couple nights a week here on iRacing.com. Find him over on Twitch. I don't know if he went live here tonight. I didn't get a notification. But we occasionally check in on Rob and make sure he's doing all right out there. Rob picking up that spot from Johnny Bell, so that'll put Haynes back into P number 12. Johnny Bell dropping back one spot. He has gained one spot here tonight, and that is a very crucial spot that these two drivers are battling for right now, because Haynes has that 12th spot. We invert the field next week. Remember, at the end of every race, we will invert the field. So whoever finishes 12th and 11th will start on the front row. Whoever finishes 1 and 2 right now, like Max Terrell and Dalton Williamson, they would start back into the 11th and 12th position. John Single all over the back of the 11 Illinois. Not able to do anything with it. Looks like Aiden Alvecchione has called it a night here from the USA International Speedway. There's the 41, the checkered flag on supply number 41 of Bob Higgins. We got to welcome him back here on Thursday night. We look forward to seeing him back on Monday night also when the Scrambler Series kicks back off. Of course, Bob was just down in Disneyland, race fans. Can you believe it? He went to Disneyland, and he kept all of us here watching the big screen here. He wasn't here last week. He had to start from the back of the field here tonight. He did start 13th. He has fallen back to 14th, running 1 lap down on the timing and scoring charts. Under 20 laps to go. Still, Max Terrell out front. Dalton Williamson, Brian Hacker, Sean Single, Mark Jenkins to the top 5. We briefly just touched on this driver out of Florida, Michael Trevorthan. Started back there in the 17th position. Has not ran all season long. He's only ran 5 races so far this season out of the 9 that was run. So that puts him well back behind on the championship standings. Came into the night 24th on the running order. He'll be looking to take a couple spots here tonight at USA and see if he can climb up inside the top 15 before the end of the season. Still a lot of time. And I say a lot of time, but really it's only 115 more laps of the season left here for Michael Trevorthan to really make his push. Have to go out here and possibly win this racer next week at North Wilkesboro. On board with the race leader of Max Terrell, he leads Dalton Williamson by about 3 car lengths this time out of turn number 4 as you ride on board. Brian Hacker is there. Sean Single is right behind him. 4-car breakaway now as the 99 of Mark Jenkins is starting to fade here at the end of this one. It'll be 14 to go this time. Actually, it'll be 13 now this time as we work our way off of turn number 4 already. Tonight's race flying by here. These drivers putting on one heck of a show. Another one of those drivers that we talk about that's been very quiet here tonight. It's number 54 of Rex Hoyle. He's right now behind his teammate of Brian Bianchi. 2 awesomely painted up machines there for these drivers. They got tuxedos by 10 there, right on the cowl of these modifieds. I think that's one of the coolest things I have ever seen. And we call a lot of races here on iRacing, as you see, both drivers having a tuxedo-themed hood. Absolutely beautiful. While we close in on 10 laps to go for your race leader of Max Terrill, we got to thank all of you race fans for tuning in here tonight. If it's your first time on the Turn 3 Racing Network, we thank you for watching. Go ahead, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button. Make sure to leave these drivers a like, because boy, do they put on great racing. You can catch them every Thursday night here on the Turn 3 Racing Network, bringing you short track racing action from some of the best short track racers in the SK modified scene. 10 to go. What does Dalton Williamson have left in the tank? Does he have anything left in those tires? The Tampa, Florida driver would love to come up here and spoil it here for Max Terrill. If Dalton can hold in his second position running here tonight, he will jump over A.J. Hamill and take the race championship lead headed into the final race of the season. Max Terrill will close the gap also. Max came in 33 points out. This is really going to help his cause. But with Dalton Williamson right there, he'll still be about 28 points behind going into the final race of the season. Brian Hacker is going to be able to hold serve with Dalton Williamson if he finishes third here tonight. Of course, Sean Single's right behind him, so he does not have an easy path to finish this one off here tonight. There is Sean Single as we ride on board with him. Brian Hacker sliding high. Sean Single going to try to go to the inside. Isn't quite able to get there, but man, is it amazing how close he is able to stay right there with Brian Hacker. This time by, it'll be the hi, how are you doing lap here for Max Terrill. 5 laps to go. Here comes Sean Single. He'll take the peak once again out of turn number 4 here on Brian Hacker. Hacker going to give him the inside lane, but will he be able to complete the pass? We've seen some drivers hold the outside lane very well. He'll reestablish position number 3 for Brian Hacker, this time down into 3 and 4. Let's take a peek off turn 4. It slides up the track just a little bit for the 11 Illinois of Brian Hacker. Hacker looks like he is going to lose this spot to Sean Single. He's better down in 1 and 2 on the outside. Let's see if he can fight back. Sean Single really trying to close the gap. One driver to pit road. There is Bob Higgins in the number 41. He comes to pit road. 3 to go, and it's going to be Max Terrill, Dalton Williamson, Sean Single now. Your top drivers, one of them down there on the apron. It looks like Bob Higgins having some problems with the number 41. He's going to be able to get it to pit road. Popsicle sticks this time by. 2 laps to go here at the USA International Speedway for Max Terrill. 2 laps to go. 1 more mile of racing. He has 2 wins to his name this season. Will he be able to make it 3 here in Florida? It'll be 1 lap to go this time by. 1 lap to go, presented by Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe. Final trip around the speedway for Max Terrill. Looks like he's going to be able to pick up a win here tonight in the Sunshine State of Florida. The Culpeppers Bakery Cafe 100 here at USA will go to the 42 of Max Terrill. Dalton Williamson will finish in 2nd, Sean Single in 3rd, Brian Hacker back in 4th. 5th will go to Mark Jenkins, Michael Trevarth in the 6th, Brian Bianchi is 7th, Rex Hoyle 8th, Joshua Buckley in 9th with Brian Robinson rounding out the top 10. Rob Higgins back there in 11th with Rob Haynes in 12th. 13th will go to Johnny Bell. A.J. Hamill will finish back into the 14th spot. Bob Higgins in 15th. Aiden Alvecchione in 16th. And Blade Timmons rounds out the field here tonight. Unofficial results on the left-hand side of the screen. Find where your favorite driver finishes up here tonight. There's your winner as he'll turn it around. He'll bring it back down tonight. He is the winner here of the Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe 100 here at the USA International Speedway. Race fans, we're going to take a quick break here from the booth, and we're going to be right back here in a couple moments here with a couple of your drivers that are able to finish inside the top 3. We do have all your drivers inside the top 3 waiting for interviews here tonight. Max Terrell going to victory lane. Stick around to see what he has to say here for our post-race show. Welcome back here, race fans, to the USA International Speedway here tonight for the Culpeppers Bakery Cafe 100 here for the SK Modified Series. And we have your top 3 finishers here to talk to tonight. Let's start things off with the driver that finds himself in victory lane for the 3rd time this season, Max Terrell. Max, you're able to pick up the win right here at the USA International Speedway. But you will now close that championship gap. 1, how does it feel to be in victory lane? And 2, how did you get it done here tonight?
Yeah, it's been a little while, and it all started with testing earlier this week. It felt good, especially off 3 and 4, and hugging that yellow line as if there was more grip down there on the line than just above. And on the long run, that's how I made my move on Dalton.
Yeah, Dalton was out front there for quite a while here tonight. He probably has more laps here at the USA International Speedway than a lot of drivers combined. How hard and difficult was it, though, to get that move done?
It was about the right timing. It's very difficult to have momentum with these cars on corner exits, and if it didn't happen that lap, probably had to wait another 10 laps maybe to get another good run at it. So I know he's racing for the points a lot closer than I am, so he was probably a little bit safer once I peeked inside.
And once you peeked inside, you set sail, but he was able to hang there with you for quite a while. Were you worried that possibly one of those bump and runs were going to come here tonight late in this one?
Yeah, with about 30 to go, I saw him close in. I started to take it easy with my tires with about 40 to go. Maybe I was too easy, and I knew the draft, as little as it looks with the speeds that we're going, it certainly makes a difference, because when I was catching up to lapped cars, I could pull a little bit more of a lead, and then he would catch me back when I was out front. So I thought he would have a chance within 10 to go, but I saved some of my right front for the end, and it worked. It worked well.
It worked just well enough to get you to victory lane here tonight, Max. But one race left as we head to the North Wilkesboro Speedway for 100 laps in the Culpeppers Bakery 100 Championship night next week. What's the chances? What's the thoughts now leaving USA going into championship night?
Pretty much coming from 12th to 1st and leading the most laps. That's all I can do to hope for max points next week. Hopefully it's a clean race like we had for most of tonight, and close out the season with a close championship battle and everyone enjoying the season finale.
Well, before we let you go, Max, who's back home watching tonight?
As usual, my girlfriend, my friend Max, and MK Medic, and my dad. They're all watching your Turn 3 broadcast. A great job you put on. And shout out to Josh for running this Checkered Flag Auto Supply Thursday Night League, and to all the partners like Culpeppers Bakery. It's much appreciated for the effort and the support in this league, and we hope to see you guys next season with all the support you provided.
There you hear it from Max Terrell. He'll pick up his 3rd win of the season. He'll close the gap now going into championship night, but it's going to have to start from back there at the 12th position coming through the field next Thursday night. Moving along right down the running order here tonight. It's the driver out of Tampa, Florida. Dalton, I know you really wanted this one here tonight. What more could you have done, though, to hold that number 42 behind you?
I think I used my tires up there at the end. The beginning when I was running second, I think I used too much tire up trying to get up to Mark there. I think was leading at the beginning, and I think I used too much tire, got it too hot, and then I cooled it back off and used too much of it again.
Tires a big thing here with these SK modifieds, but talk about the track itself here. How, can you push hard and then cool the tire down to save some, or once it's gone, is it gone here at USA?
It really debates on what the dynamic track and the track temp wants to do, to be honest with you. But tonight, I would say save was the better option than push.
So now, leaving here, we talked last week, and AJ Hamill said, and even you said, you didn't want to be the championship leader, because whoever was the championship leader always had issues starting, well, the next race. AJ was the championship leader coming into the night. He had some unfortunate issues on the back straightaway. You now will leave USA and head to championship night as the points championship leader. Can we shake the bad juju of holding the points championship lead into the final race?
Roger, you know my luck with that. Now, I don't have to answer that question. Come on now.
Well, I know, but I don't know if everybody that's tuning in knows that question or the answer.
We'll see, man. I hope. I mean, North Wilkesboro is a good track. I definitely got to come back to the drawing board because I got my ass whooped tonight by Max. So kudos to him, man. That's a good run on his part.
Well, congratulations, though, Dalton, coming home on the podium here. Who's on the side of this number one machine that you got to thank?
I'd like to thank VK Paints, Platinum RV Services, Tim, all the boys at Rev, McConey Setup Shop, Total Advantage for all the super stuff we've been doing, man. They're a good group of guys. Other than that, you for broadcasting, Turn 3, all the league sponsors, Josh, all the admin, man, they do a hell of a job with this league, and it gets better and better. Like I say, every time I run it, we're just going to try to close out the championship this year.
Well, there you hear it from the Rev Esports driver of Dalton Williamson. He'll have a chance next week to close it out and take that championship home with him. Will he be able to do it? Well, we're going to have to find out next week because I don't have a magic ball to tell you that story. Dalton Williamson, though, will pick up the championship points lead, leaving the USA International Speedway after his second place finish. Teammate, though, right there, and boy, Sean Single, you finished third here tonight, and you really had to work for that third position.
Oh yeah, Brian was doing everything to keep me behind him, and I was just trying to race him clean. I think we both ended up getting in the wall like at least 3 times each, just trying to keep each other either behind us or trying to catch up to him. So it was a hell of a battle, but it was a lot of fun, I have to say.
It looked fun out there, but how hard was it to run side by side? Because you and the 11 Illinois of Hacker were side by side for more laps here tonight than you guys have been all season long on one of the hardest tracks also.
It was super hard. Honestly, I was thinking about just backing out at some points just because I knew I was using up my tires and that they were going to go away super quick in the top lane. So there was times when I'd be in the top lane and I would just kind of back out of it and let the person through. But once we got side by side here, I tried doing a quick crossover once Brian was up on my inside to see if I could get behind him, but didn't have enough momentum, but I was eventually able to catch back up to him and get around him.
So since joining the Rev Esports group, Sean, your whole organization has really turned it around for your number 11, that is. Tonight, you came in 6th in the championship points. It pretty much looked like your championship hunt was over. 55 points back. It looked like 54, but that's a 5 with my handwriting. So next week, unfortunately, it looks like you're going to come up just shy. What do you need next week, though, to round down this great season you have had?
I just need to have a good finish. I've been pretty consistent over the last couple of weeks, knock on wood, about trying to just get through the track without getting into trouble and kind of keep up with the track as well. So just need some good luck on our hands and hope for a good finish.
Well, you had one here tonight. Who made this all possible back home in Massachusetts?
I got to thank my mom and dad. They watch all the time. My sister and her boyfriend might be watching as well. Got to thank the Sconius Jabronius boys. Those are some of my friends that I'm going to be hanging out with after this, so excited to do that. Then BK Paints, Platinum RV Services, McConey Setup Shops. Dalton said most of them, all the guys down at Esports, Rev Esports too. Got to thank all them as well.
There you hear it from Sean Single here tonight. He will finish in position number 3. That's your top 3 finishers here tonight from the USA International Speedway, and what a great one it was here from Lakeland. This track may no longer exist in real life, as it is a parking lot with a couple warehouses on it now, but here on the iRacing.com platform, we will always, year in and year out, get to race right here, virtually at the USA International Speedway. Take a quick look here at our unofficial results here leaving the USA International Speedway. Only 2 caution flags here tonight, both of them flying with inside the top 20, or inside the first 20 laps of this race here tonight. So now we will officially head into the final race of the season. That will be at the North Wilkesboro Speedway next week for Culpeppers Bakery Championship Night for the Checkered Flag Auto Supply SK Modified Series. But for everybody at the Checkered Flag Auto Supply, everybody at Culpeppers Bakery and Cafe, and everybody with Red Light Racing and the Turn 3 Racing Network, my name is Roger Muth, and we hope you enjoyed tonight's broadcast right here from the USA International Speedway in Lakeland, Florida. You can catch us live with more Red Light Racing action on Monday from the Chicagoland Speedway. Till we see you then, race fans, everybody stay safe, and we will see you at the races.